Hey there, curious minds, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a stack of incredible insights, pull them apart, and then put them back together to make you effortlessly well-informed. Today, we're diving into a really transformative vision of the future, one that honestly challenges almost everything we thought we knew about money, about value, and how our global economy actually operates.
Yeah, we've got a fascinating blueprint in front of us today. It's key excerpts from Velocity of Money, Crypto, Karma, and the End of Traditional Economics by Paramendra Kumar Bhagat. And this isn't just another deep dive into crypto as, an investment. It's really about understanding it as the fundamental plumbing for a radically new economic organism.
Okay, so the plumbing.
Right. Our mission here is to extract the most important nuggets, help you grasp the surprising facts, the implications of money moving, well, at the speed of thought. What happens when literally nothing slows money down? Let's unpack this.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning then. Because this deep dive, it fundamentally rethinks what money is. For centuries, we've seen it as, well, three things: a store of value, something to save, a medium of exchange, something to buy stuff with, and a unit of account, how we price things. But what if its true power, its most revolutionary potential, lies somewhere else entirely?
Precisely. The author basically says that money has always been an enabler, a lubricant for the real value, like, human effort, creativity, service. It's the grease in the gears of the economy.
Right, the grease, not the engine itself.
Exactly. But we've mistakenly equated that grease with the engine. We think money is wealth, but the real economy doesn't run on coins and bills. It runs on the actual effort, the ingenuity, the goods, the services that people provide. And the seismic shift, the big change crypto introduces, is this paradigm where money's real value is in its capacity to move.
Its capacity to move.
Instantly, freely, intelligently. This is what the author calls velocity money.
Okay, velocity money. So if we rethink money beyond just static capital, beyond it just sitting there, what does that actually mean for how we understand economies?
Well, the traditional view is really baked in, isn't it? Money as a static asset meant to be stored. But every traditional financial system, whether it's physical cash or, the digital numbers in our bank accounts, it comes with inherent friction.
Friction? Like what?
Think about it. Physical transport takes time. Its reach is limited by geography, by banking hours, these temporal lags, delays in settlement, money stored in a vault, or even just sitting in a bank account waiting for a wire transfer to clear. It does nothing. It's idle capital.
Right, dead money, almost.
Exactly. Fiat currency, even the digital kind we use every day, it just waits. And it actually incurs costs to move it. Wire fees, credit card processing fees, foreign exchange spreads. This inertia, this friction, especially when you look at the big picture, significantly slows down entire economies.
And this is where it gets really interesting, you argue, because crypto changes everything by radically accelerating how money moves. Like when you transfer Bitcoin or, say, a stable coin like USDC, you're not just promising to move value.
Oh, you're moving it.
You are actually moving the value instantly, irreversibly, globally. And you're relying on a permissionless network, right? Not some clearinghouse or SWIFT needing days to settle.
That's the key. It's like we're discovering that the true power of money isn't in its storage, but in its flow. Its velocity.
Okay, so that brings us straight to the power of velocity. It's not just how fast money moves from A to B.
Right, it's more than that. It's how often it moves within an economic system. Think about a $100 bill. If you stick it in your drawer, its economic contribution is zero. If you invest it, okay, it grows slowly over time. But what if that same $100 bill could be used in, say, 100 rapid transactions? Buying, selling, lending, tipping, paying contractors.
Wow.
Then that single $100 has actually facilitated hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in overall economic activity. Velocity money amplifies the utility, the impact of every single dollar, becomes the active heartbeat of this decentralized cyber economy. Capital isn't static anymore. It's liquid, it's programmable, it's constantly engaged, generating value with every single pulse.
And this isn't just about launching new currencies, is it? The author is talking about an entirely new economic organism, a cyber economy operating on fundamentally different principles. Can you maybe give us a vivid example? What does this look like in practice for someone who maybe feels shut out by traditional finance?
Absolutely. And this isn't just theory. It's actually happening now. Picture a teenager in Lagos, Nigeria, getting the traditional bank account. Difficult, maybe impossible. But through crypto, they could earn stablecoins by, say, moderating an online forum for a DAO, a decentralized organization, getting paid tiny amounts, micropayments, in real time. Or imagine a small farmer in rural India Needs insurance against crop failure, right? Very common problem. Traditionally, that's a slow, bureaucratic nightmare. With smart contracts, they could get microinsurance payouts instantly, automatically triggered by real-time rainfall data from an oracle.
Wow, automatically.
Automatically. And the most crucial implication here, the marginalized become central. Traditional banking, with its demands for credit scores, piles of documents, physical branches, it locks out billions, literally billions of people.
Yeah, the unbanked problem is huge.
It is. But crypto often just needs a phone and a wallet address. That's
Mhm.
it. It brings financial participation to the global periphery. Think of a woman in a Nairobi slum managing remittances, a migrant worker in the Gulf sending money home instantly, a gamer in Vietnam earning from virtual worlds. They can transact, invest, build wealth with just code and an internet connection.
That immediately makes me think about micropayments. Sending like 1 cent in the old system is just absurd. The fees would eat it all.
Exactly. Economically non-viable. But crypto enables near-zero transaction costs for many operations.
So you really can tip someone zero point zero 0.01 cents per second for streaming content or pay a developer per line of code.
You absolutely can. It creates entirely new economic interactions that just weren't worth the cost before. And this also leads to what the author calls real-time finance.
Real-time finance, meaning no more delays.
Pretty much. In the traditional world, delays are built in. Payroll is monthly, bi-weekly. Loans take days, weeks. Stock trades settle in T+2, 2 days later.
Right, always waiting.
Always waiting. Crypto settlement is instant or near instant. Loans can be underwritten by code, execute in seconds. Payroll can be streamed per second. Workers get paid continuously as they work.
Continuously, like a running tally.
Yeah, imagine your salary ticking up every second in your wallet. When these delays vanish, a massive source of inefficiency disappears with them. Velocity money creates this incredible fluidity across time. Workers get paid immediately, businesses avoid cash flow gaps. It radically accelerates the pace of everything.
So, if we just take a step back, what does this really mean for you, listening right now? It means economic inclusion could become the default. No geographical bias, no paperwork nightmares, no language barriers stopping you. Every person with internet access becomes like a node in this global economic mesh.
The barriers to entry just plummet.
Yeah.
It's genuinely the first time in history we could even conceive of a truly global, interconnected economy where anyone can participate on relatively equal footing.
Which brings us right to the core of frictionless finance, that big question. What happens when nothing slows money down?
Right, because traditional finance, let's be honest, is often a swamp of inefficiency. Long settlement times, high fees, all those intermediaries taking a cut, conversion penalties, compliance delays, slowing everything.
They feel like bugs, but the author says they're features of the old system.
Features or maybe systemic failures built into the architecture.
Yeah.
Just imagine sending $100 abroad and $20 disappears in fees, or waiting weeks for a loan you desperately need. Frictionless finance, enabled by crypto, aims to be instantaneous seconds, not days. Global, no borders, low-cost, think microfees, decentralized, fewer intermediaries, and programmable code enforces the rules. It allows financial services to scale exponentially, reaching anyone, anywhere.
That's a huge shift. The book talks about the remittance revolution as a key example, and it really hits home. Over $800 billion sent globally each year.
Often with 5–10% fees sliced off, taking days to arrive. It's a critical lifeline for millions of families.
And the crypto alternative is just dramatically different.
It's striking. Look at Strike using Bitcoin's Lightning Network. A U.S. migrant sends $100 worth of value to, say, El Salvador. It arrives in seconds. The fee, less than a cent.
Wow. Seconds, less than a cent.
Yeah.
Compared to days and maybe $10 in fees.
Exactly. It bypasses the banks, the old rails, and it's not just Strike. Paxful, Binance Pay in Nigeria, Kenya, Celo, Leaf Wallet helping refugees in Africa move money safely. Crypto isn't just improving remittances, it's fundamentally reinventing them. Direct, instant value transfer.
And it goes beyond remittances to everyday payments, right? Payments at the speed of thought.
Yeah.
You mentioned stablecoins earlier. They give you price stability, pegged to dollars usually.
Often, yes, like USDC or DAI.
Yeah.
That stability, combined with direct wallet-to-wallet transfers, means instant settlement. Add QR codes or NFC for mobile use. Plus the programmability. Payments that automatically split or only trigger when milestones are hit or are fully auditable without needing Big Brother watching every transaction.
And then lending and credit without banks. That's always been a huge friction point. Paperwork, collateral, credit checks, weeks of waiting.
A massive barrier. DeFi protocols, think of them as decentralized banks run by code, allow instant borrowing if you have crypto collateral. There are even flash loans, a wild crypto concept where you borrow and repay huge sums within a single transaction in seconds.
Flash loans. Okay, that's
It
different.
it is. Or you can just lend your stablecoins to a pool and earn interest. Finance becoming this always-on service, no bureaucracy, no gatekeepers saying no. It radically opens up access to capital.
Insurance without bureaucracy sounds equally appealing. No more agents, claim forms, waiting weeks for a payout.
Imagine insurance smart contracts. They pay out automatically based on verifiable data. Crop insurance pays when an oracle confirms rainfall drop below X. Flight delay insurance pays automatically after Y hours.
And the payout is instant in crypto.
Instant, maybe in stablecoins, spendable immediately. Platforms like Nexus Mutual, Etherisk, Arbol are building this now. Frictionless protection.
This leads to that idea of embedded finance you mentioned. Finance just disappears into the workflow.
Exactly. It becomes invisible because
Uh-huh.
it's so smooth. The gig worker paid the instant the delivery is done. The artist automatically splitting royalties when a song sells. The student getting tuition streamed as microgrants based on attendance. Finance isn't gone. It's just so efficient it fades into the background. Like electricity. You only notice when it's not there.
Okay, but this sounds almost too good to be true. There have to be challenges, right? Using crypto wallets, understanding gas fees, securing seed phrases, that's still pretty complex for most people.
Yeah, absolutely. The user experience, UX hurdle, is real and significant. Wallets need to be as easy as email. Gas fees need to be abstracted away or made predictable. Security needs to be simpler. That's one major challenge.
And the other, regulation.
That's the big one. Regulatory friction. Governments have legitimate concerns. Money laundering, capital controls, tax evasion. How do you manage that in a borderless system? The author's view isn't anti-regulation, though. It's for responsible regulation. Regulation that makes the system auditable without mass surveillance. Compliance can be built into the smart contracts. KYC, know your customer, can become programmable and privacy-preserving using things like zero-knowledge proofs. AML anti-money laundering can be embedded in the code.
So balancing oversight with innovation?
Finding that balance, moving from a system where you wait, ask permission, trust gatekeepers, to one where you act, own your keys, and trust the code. Ultimately, it's not just about efficiency, it's about liberation, financial autonomy for potentially billions.
Okay, so if velocity money is the bloodstream.
Then the underlying crypto networks are the nervous system, the structure, the communication pathways. And this is where the author makes a really crucial point. Crypto isn't primarily an asset to speculate on. It's fundamental infrastructure,
The plumbing.
the plumbing of the digital economy.
Okay, let's unpack that. So less about Bitcoin's price today, more about what the technology enables. What does this infrastructure actually look like? How is it designed differently from, say, our traditional financial rails?
Precisely. The dominant story, the media narrative, it's always about speculation. Bitcoin as digital gold, Ethereum as the next big tech stock. But that view is just incredibly limiting. It's like confusing the roads for the cars or the electrical grid for the toaster.
Right, mistaking the infrastructure for the application.
Exactly. Crypto is this global, decentralized, programmable layer for finance and data. It lets people, machines, communities transact, coordinate, govern value without central middlemen. It's the essential, often invisible layer everything else builds on.
So like the internet, it probably has layers too, different functions stacked up.
Perfectly put. It's built meticulously in layers. At the very bottom, you have layer 1 protocols. Think Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. These are the global settlement layers, the digital land.
Okay, the foundation.
Then layer 2 solutions, Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum. They sit on top to solve layer 1's cost and speed issues. They make micropayments and fast apps practical. Then you have middleware and tooling wallets, APIs, oracles like Chainlink bringing real-world data onto the blockchain, bridges connecting different networks, and finally the top layer, applications or dApps. This is what most users see. DeFi platforms like Uniswap or Aave, DAOs, NFT marketplaces.
Got it, a whole stack. So when we compare these new crypto rails to the old traditional rails, what specific functions do they replace or radically change?
Well, they offer something fundamentally new. Programmability, composability, like financial Lego blocks you could snap together, and permissionless building. Anyone can build on them. So where traditional payments use SWIFT or Visa, crypto uses Ethereum or Solana. Identity shifts from government IDs to maybe decentralized identifiers, DIDs, or readable names like yourname.eth via ENS. Lending moves from banks to open DeFi protocols like Aave. Getting real-world data moves from closed APIs to trustless oracles like Chainlink. Legal agreements shift from lawyers to automated smart contracts. And even governance itself evolves from corporations and states to DAOs run by token holder votes. These crypto rails are open roads, and that changes everything.
And the revolutionary part isn't just moving money faster, but moving it with logic attached. You mentioned this. Traditional. Send $100, they get $100. Crypto, send $100 only if the product arrives, or split it 3 ways automatically, or send it hourly until X happens.
Exactly. Money becomes intelligent. It executes rules automatically.
That really does sound like the Internet of Value.
It is. The internet connected information. Crypto connects value. Globally, instantly. Anyone can send, stake, split, tokenize value. A developer in Ghana integrates global DeFi lending. A DAO in Argentina funds open source work worldwide in seconds. A Malaysian artist mints an NFT song, sells it, and auto-pays their collaborators their share. This whole Internet of Value requires this crypto infrastructure. It enables totally new ways to interact and collaborate economically.
And we've seen this infrastructure have a real impact. Ukraine getting $100 plus in crypto aid in 2022 faster, more transparent than bank aid. ENS names, like Alice.f, acting as simple identities. Helium using crypto tokens to incentivize people to build a decentralized Wi-Fi network.
Powerful examples. And it drives inclusion, doesn't it? A phone and internet are often enough. No credit score needed. No reams of paperwork. Inclusion by design. Crypto is becoming this operating system for modern finance. You can write financial functions, pay hourly, split income, and compose complex products like Lego. It's a new paradigm. Institutions are slowly getting it. JP Morgan exploring blockchain, nations building public crypto infrastructure. Soon, the author argues, banks, regulators, governments face a choice. Build on these rails or risk getting left behind. This invisible layer is what enables new coordination, letting humans self-organize at scale, letting capital deploy with incredible speed and precision. The next decade isn't about token prices. It's about adopting this invisible infrastructure for payments, storage, identity, governance.
Okay, so building on that infrastructure idea, a crucial piece is the commoditization of contracts, making legal agreements accessible and programmable for everyone.
Yes. Traditionally, contracts are a privilege. Paper, lawyers, institutions, geography, they create bottlenecks.
Right, expensive and slow.
Very. Smart contracts democratize this. What's fascinating is that a smart contract is just code. A program that runs on a blockchain and executes automatically when conditions are met. Unlike legal text, code is deterministic, executes exactly as written. Immutable can't be easily changed once deployed. Global. Transparent, anyone can read the code. Enforcement shifts from slow institutions to the infrastructure itself, from bureaucracy to math.
Which sounds like it could slash the costs. Legal fees, time delays, the complexity of different jurisdictions, plus the unfairness, where big players can afford lawyers and individuals often can't.
Exactly. Smart contracts destroy these barriers. The author calls it contracts for the 99%. Imagine a street vendor selling loyalty tokens backed by a smart contract, a graphic designer locking payment in an automated escrow until the files are delivered, a co-op distributing profits automatically based on coded rules. Everyone becomes a contractual agent. It's the birth of a programmable, decentralized legal economy.
Can you give more concrete examples of how this is being used today?
Sure. Think about NFT marketplaces like OpenSea or funding platforms like Gitcoin. They use smart contracts for escrow locking funds until conditions are met, fair for buyer and seller. Streaming payment protocols, super fluid. Zebek allow continuous per-second payments, revolutionizing subscriptions, maybe salaries.
Or second salaries, wow.
Yeah. DAOs use smart contracts for salaries, bounties, bonuses, transparent employment agreements. Insurance payouts, like Etherisk for flight delays, triggered automatically by data feeds. No claims adjusters needed. Each example replaces slow, human-mediated legal stuff with trustless, automated, instant execution.
So smart contracts are like modular open-source legal building blocks.
That's a great way to put it. Core actions escrow, royalty splits, time locks become reusable, auditable modules anyone can deploy. Developers compose complex agreements from templates, like Lego. Law becomes programmable, open source, a huge change from opaque legalese. And NFTs, often seen as just digital art, are fundamentally smart contracts acting as legal wrappers. A musician mints a song NFT, bakes in a 10% royalty on future sales, auto-splits it with collaborators. Legal automation meets creative culture.
And then DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, entire organizations built on smart contracts.
Basically, yes, contractual collectives, membership via tokens, voting enforced by smart contracts, treasury allocation by code, no CEO, no boardroom, just fluid, transparent organisms of contracted incentives operating globally. Their investment funds, research groups, public goods economies, the ultimate contractualization of coordination.
But what if the code is wrong? Bugs happen, or disputes arise that the code didn't anticipate. Are we aiming for justice without institutions?
The author suggests a layered trust system. First, the code itself, deterministic execution. What's coded happens. But for disputes outside the code or needing interpretation, you have arbitration DAOs like Claros or Aragon Court. Decentralized human juries resolve conflicts, plus reputation systems for social pressure. It forms a new kind of algorithmic jurisprudence, faster, cheaper, more accessible than courts. The new legal language needs technical fluency like solidity, economic intuition, incentives, and social literacy, creating a new role, the smart contract architect, part coder, part jurist.
So a world where everyone can create, enforce, benefit from complex economic relationships instantly, globally, autonomously.
That's the potential. Commoditizing contracts bring scale, speed, innovation, equality. Startups spin up agreements instantly. Co-ops enforce governance without lawyers. NGOs automate funding distribution. Law becomes abundant, not scarce. Of course, risks exist, bugs, legal uncertainty, but solutions like code audits, on-chain insurance, emergency governance are developing. The philosophical shift is huge. From trust in fallible institutions to trust in math and transparent code, code becomes law. Logic is transparent. Execution is automatic. It's a redefinition of trust and access.
Okay, so velocity money is the bloodstream, crypto networks are the nervous system. What's next?
Identity. Perhaps the very first building block. The author argues dematerializing identity is critical.
And it's fascinating how our current identity systems, passports, birth certificates, are just insufficient, inefficient, and deeply exclusionary. Over 1 billion people lack government ID, locked out of so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Legacy identity is flawed. It's centralized, controlled by governments, corporations, prone to censorship, surveillance. It's exclusive, hurting vulnerable groups most. Its inflexible, static documents don't capture dynamic reputation or contributions. And it fails in interoperability. My ID doesn't work easily elsewhere. Identity needs a fundamental redesign for the digital age.
So what does decentralized identity, DID, look like? How does it fix these flaws?
DD flips the control to the individual. You own your identity credentials. Store them cryptographically, share them selectively, verifiably, privately. The core principles are revolutionary. Self-sovereignty, you control your data. Portability, use your ID anywhere. Verifiability, prove claims without showing raw data. Privacy via selective disclosure and tech like zero-knowledge proofs. DID replaces static permission documents with dynamic, programmable credentials.
And there's a whole tech stack behind this. It's not just a digital passport.
No, it's a system. Crypto wallet skis for storage. Verifiable credentials, VCs. Digital attestations from trusted issuers, like a digital diploma. The DIDs themselves, unique identifiers on the blockchain. Secure identity hubs for storage, protocols for messaging, authentication. It's the infrastructure for programmable identity.
And real-world uses are emerging fast now.
Definitely. Financial access, the unbanked create a crypto ID, lenders assess trust via on-chain activity or VCs, not paperwork. Education. Universities issue diplomas as verifiable NFTs VCs, instantly verifiable by employers. Refugee empowerment. Carry digital ID across borders. Retain legal personhood. Receive aid via DID wallets transparently. Healthcare. Secure consent-based access to medical records. Civic participation. Online voting via verifiable personhood, proving you're unique without revealing who you are.
Right. And zero-knowledge proofs, ZKPs, are key for privacy. Proving you're over 18 without showing your birth date.
Exactly. Prove facts without revealing underlying data. Privacy by default.
Yeah.
It balances privacy, compliance, security, access. And identity goes beyond formal credentials. On-chain reputation is emerging. Contributions to DAOs, governance history, verified creative work, building reputation earned through actions, using protocols like Gitcoin Passport or Lens Protocol. Composite fluid identities replace static documents.
Vitalik Buterin's soul-bound tokens, SBTs, fit here too. Non-transferable tokens for degrees, certificates, even bans, making identity relational.
Yes, adding context and relationships. But what about law enforcement? That's a big fear with crypto illicit use. How does DI fit? The author argues DI isn't for crime, but for better, privacy-preserving lawful coordination. Programmable KYCML prove personhood cryptographically without huge central databases. Cross-border coordination verifiable attestations for investigations. Selective visibility flags suspicious activity while preserving normal users' anonymity. Identity even extends to machines, AI agents. Self-driving cars, AI bots needing DDs for payments, authentication, machine-to-machine trust.
Okay, so wrapping this section up, what does this mean for us, the listener? Decentralized identity creates programmable civic infrastructure.
Potentially, yes. Universal basic identity, financial inclusion by default, seamless global governance participation, a unified digital passport for Web3, DeFi, real life, identity encoded with dignity, proving who you are safely, accessing what you need equitably, participating in shaping the future. It's the first building block for global trust without institutions, coordination without coercion.
So we have money moving instantly powered by this new digital infrastructure. Even our identities are transforming. What happens when this infrastructure runs 247, transcending time zones, traditional banking hours?
What happens is the rise of what the author calls the nocturnal economy, capital that literally never sleeps.
A nocturnal economy.
It's a fascinating idea. Our current financial system feels incredibly slow, constrained by comparison. Market hours, banking hours, settlement delays like T+2. It's segmented by geography, currency. These constraints slow capital down, exclude billions, force value to sit idle. The world's wealth effectively sleeps much of the time.
But crypto changes that. Always on capital. Bitcoin runs 204/7. Ethereum processes blocks every 12 seconds. DeFi offers real-time lending, borrowing, swaps, anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. Capital flows without borders. Financial services available at all hours. Investors anywhere. Fund projects everywhere. Money becomes nocturnal earning, helping, transacting even while we sleep. From static capital to hyperliquid capital, your money is always working. This is hugely enabled by decentralized liquidity pools, AVE, Compound, Curve. You deposit stablecoins in the US, they're instantly borrowed in Kenya, repaid with interest, all by smart contracts. Always available, always working financial infrastructure.
So my money isn't just sitting there. It can be actively working through things like staking and yield generation while I sleep.
That's right. Stake and lockup tokens like ETH, SOL, ATOM earn rewards for helping secure the network. Your tokens validate transactions while you sleep. You earn yield. No broker needed, just protocol logic. Passive savings become active infrastructure. And then streaming finance. Traditional payments are lumpy monthly salaries. Streaming offers continuous flows. Pay your team by the second. Receive investment yield by the block. Donate continuously. Protocols like Superfluid, Sably enable this, aligning capital flow with value flow in real time.
This must also transform organizations. Nocturnal DAOs, 247 governance, operating globally, never closing, voting asynchronously.
Precisely. In a DAO, a proposal made in Berlin gets voted on in Nairobi, executed in Buenos Aires. Seamlessly across time zones. Continuous organizational metabolism. Human coordination unbound by office hours. Smart contracts automate this further. Set investment triggers, automate withdrawals, time lock funds. Intelligent machines of money operating around the clock.
Which enables incredible cross-time zone productivity. Your night is someone else's peak work time. Developers in Vietnam funded by DAOs in California. Writers in South Africa earning from readers in Sweden. Leveraging global liquidity and time optimization like never before.
And it applies to sophisticated finance, too. DeFi aggregators, Yearn, Beefy, Rary scan for best yields, rebalance portfolios 24/7 automatically, autopilot investing, global scale, no human manager, financial AI managing assets globally, constantly optimizing. This also enables nocturnal philanthropy. Smart contracts, stream donations, reward transparency, trigger emergency aid automatically. Impact doesn't wait for meetings.
So for us listening, the sleeping human, the awake economy. My skills monetized 247, assets working globally, contributions rewarded continuously. Sleep is no longer economic dead time.
That's the vision. It's the logical outcome of 2047 infrastructure, smart contracts, digital identity, global stablecoins, where capital doing its best work while you rest.
This naturally leads to that really big idea, the end of the fiat monopoly. For centuries, nation-states controlled money, issuing it, regulating it, enforcing it, central banks, national currencies, fiat by decree, a political monopoly.
A powerful one, and one with inherent problems, as the author points out. Inflation risk from unlimited printing, financial repression, low interest rates, capital controls, systemic risk from centralized mistakes, exclusion of the unbanked.
Yeah, fiat solved problems of the gold standard, but maybe wasn't designed for a programmable, global, always-on economy.
Exactly. And this is where crypto fundamentally breaks the mold. Decentralized issuance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, transparent monetary policy, code, not committees, borderless interoperability, user sovereignty, your keys, your crypto, programmability. These aren't small tweaks. They redefine money.
Bitcoin was the original rebellion, wasn't it? 21 million hard-cap decentralized miners, immutable ledger, resisting inflation, censorship, control, a sovereign alternative.
And Ethereum built on that, adding smart contracts, custom tokens, DeFi, a programmable financial layer. But the real Trojan horse for fiat, stablecoins, USDC, USDT, DAY, they mimic fiat, pegged 1.1 to the dollar usually, offer instant global low-cost transfers. Held by anyone with a wallet, no bank needed. They're fiat without borders, crypto without volatility. The bridge and the breach.
Governments aren't just watching, though. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are the counterattack. China's ECNY, digital eurodollar plans. They want to keep sovereignty, modernize payments, add programmability.
But, as the author warns, they risk deep surveillance, censorship, financial authoritarianism. CBDCs modernize fiat, but don't decentralize power. They might enhance central control. Meanwhile, crypto enables tokenization, monetary pluralism. Money breaks into infinite forms, community tokens, DAO tokens, NFTs, social tokens. Money becomes a spectrum. Fiat is just one player.
So nation-states lose leverage. Taxing becomes harder, capital controls weaken, monetary policy decouples from global flows.
They face a choice: compete, embrace crypto rails, or risk irrelevance. We already see cracks in the fiat wall. Argentina, inflation. Over 100% people flee to USDT BTC. Nigeria, instability. P2P crypto thrives. Ukraine, crypto is the fastest way for aid. Crypto is filling gaps fiat can't.
Okay, this has been a deep dive into the mechanics, the infrastructure. But the book goes further into a whole new economic philosophy, right? Karma and gross domestic requirement.
Yes, this is where it gets truly profound, perhaps the most philosophical shift. The idea that money itself is a mirage. It forces us to ask, what is the real economy? And introduces karmist economics.
So if money isn't the goal and price doesn't equal value, what is the real economy? And how does karma fit in? Is this like spiritual economics?
Not exactly spiritual in a religious sense, but definitely ethical. The author argues we mistakenly equate money with value. GDP for economic health, net worth for wealth. These metrics often hide the real picture. Mainstream economics says price equals value. But think, diamonds versus water, hedge fund trader versus nurse, iPhone versus rainforest. Price reflects scarcity, demand, capital not utility, ethical worth, impact.
Right. Price is often arbitrary or skewed.
Exactly. Karmaist economics uses karma simply as action and consequence. What you contribute: skills, service, creativity, labor, and its consequences. Impact, sustainability, fairness. It's about rewarding positive participation, not just accumulating money, shifting the scorecard from what you have to what you do.
And the real economy is the tangible stuff. Food grown, homes built, knowledge taught.
Yes, goods and services. And here's where it gets groundbreaking. Shifting from proof of work, burning energy to secure networks, to proof of contribution, securing communities by measuring verified contributions.
So instead of mining Bitcoin, reward teachers for lessons, farmers for food, builders for housing.
That's the idea. Gitcoin, Talent DAO, Impact DAOs are early experiments. It redefined value. Karmist economics sees time, energy, intention as the real inputs above capital. Crypto can measure time, streaming payments, energy, proof of effort, intention, reputation, voting. Value becomes multidimensional. This leads to karma tokens, earn-only tokens representing service, influencing governance or access, replacing resumes with reputation, credit scores with contribution history. Coordinate Source Grid are exploring this, aiming for circular economies of giving. Work becomes recognition, expression, not just obligation.
Wow. And this extends to measuring the whole economy. Moving from GDP to GDR, gross domestic requirement. GDP is flawed. We know that.
Deeply flawed. Ignores distribution, rewards destruction, neglects informal work, disregards sustainability. One-dimensional. GDR asks, what's the total quantity of goods, services, care needed to sustainably meet the basic needs and well-being of everyone? People-centered, sufficiency-oriented, holistic, regenerative. What must we provide for all to thrive?
So you define minimums for nutrition, housing, healthcare, education, energy, etc., quantify them, and track the shortfall surplus in real time.
Precisely. Turn needs into numbers. And crypto is crucial here. Transparency, public ledger, real-time updates, smart contracts, decentralization, community self-organization, programmability, funding flows based on need thresholds. Crypto becomes the infrastructure of provisioning.
Like GDR-linked smart contracts, tracking meals distributed, comparing to need, releasing funds automatically if supply drops, algorithmic dignity enforcement.
Exactly. This could power universal basic access, UBA. Everyone gets essentials. Karma tokens reputation unlock resources beyond basics, welfare without bureaucracy. Local GDR DAOs could manage needs for villages, towns, self-aware provisioning units, GDR becomes a policy tool guiding budgets, NGO work, disaster response, a North Star for ethical governance. It must integrate planetary boundaries, track regenerative practices, penalize extraction.
So shifting from grow GDP by 3% to have we met basic housing needs sustainably, ethical dashboards for economies.
Yes. GDP is scoreboard capitalism. GDR is scoreboard care. All data, open source, publicly auditable, participatory. A public explorer showing daily stats. Reframing scarcity from how do I get more to what is enough for everyone. Enabling targeted abundance-free food, open education. Challenges exist, measurement, gaming the system. But solutions like ZK proofs, pilots, and DAOs can work. GDR is the moral evolution of economics, using crypto as civilization software, making measurable our needs met sustainably together.
That's incredible. An economy driven by karma and GDR. But how does this translate to global impact, especially for the underserved? And how do you regulate any of this?
Right, where the rubber meets the road. The author argues crypto transforms development bottom-up solutions. Traditional aid often sails bureaucracy, corruption, slow, opaque, up to 40% lost. Crypto offers development from below. Trustless collaboration, capital coordination, direct value transfer, crypto for empowerment.
Addressing financial inclusion for the 1.4 billion unbanked, wallets, stablecoins, P2P lending, projects like CeeLo, Kotani Pay, Leaf Wallet helping leapfrog banks.
Yes. And remittances, $800 plus high fees, delays, crypto, near zero fees, instant, borderless, digital direct aid at scale, land, property, identity, 1.5 billion lack secure tenure, blockchain titles, immutable registries. Bitlend in Ghana, cadastrate DAO, combined with DID gives legal personhood, place.
DAO is flipping the NGO model. Communities govern budgets, track progress on chain, clean water DAO run by villages, local self-determination, global accountability.
Exactly. Tokenized incentives for impact reward school attendance, recycling, data contribution, subsidized access, non-tradable reputation tokens or convertible service tokens, grassroots economics in Kenya, impact market for UBI, supply chain integrity, end-to-end traceability, smart contract verification, auto payments on fulfillment. Every bag of rice, vaccine proven.
Education and earning in parallel, learn-to-earn platforms, micro-scholarships via NFTs, reputation-based skills, turning education into upliftment.
Indeed. Rise of local economies, micro DAOs launching own tokens, coordinating labor, fishing villages tokenizing catches. FDI becomes fluid, fair, fast, person-to-project funding via DAO bonds, smart contracts, refugee crisis response, transformed portable digital ID, mobile wallets, direct aid. UNHCR Stellar in Ukraine showed the speed. Public goods funding, reimagined quadratic funding, Gitcoin, retroactive funding, optimism.
So challenges like volatility, access, crypto colonialism exist, but solutions focus on stablecoins, UX, co-creation. Crypto isn't a threat to SDGs, but maybe their tech evolution. The Global South leading by solving real problems.
That's the argument, which brings us to regulating this borderless future. Crypto is stateless, permissionless, censorship-resistant. How do you govern code that runs everywhere?
The fundamental challenge, why does it disrupt regulation? No single jurisdiction. DeFi is global. No central entity who to regulate. Immutable code, bugs aren't recalled. Programmable assets, velocity plus volume. Traditional regulation is territorial, slow. Crypto is borderless, fast.
The old playbook registries, licenses, courts doesn't fit. Leads to overreach or inaction. We need new playbooks. But the author argues for responsible regulation. Consumer protection, transparency, accountability, systemic risk monitoring, on-off ramp clarity. But it must match crypto's speed, scale, openness, regenerative oversight. What's fascinating is crypto's own regulatory tools. Code is law. Smart contracts enforce rules limits, escrow, penalties, programmable compliance.
Plus decentralized identity and privacy-preserving KYC. Using ZK proofs to prove compliance without revealing details, balancing compliance, privacy, scale.
Yes, and DAOs, legal ghosts or new civilizations, not cores, NGOs, governments. Regulatory questions abound. Who's liable, where based, taxes, options, legal wrappers, Wyoming DAO LLC, jurisdictionless smart contracts plus DID enforcement, on-chain dispute resolution, Claros, Aragon Court. Transparent, programmable justice, forming a global niche of governance, network law like internet standards.
And states have three options: resist, innovation flees; co-opt, CBDCs, surveillance risk; or integrate public infrastructure on open protocols, synergy.
Integration seems the most promising path. Regulation as public good infrastructure, sandboxes, on-chain attestations from regulators, funding audits. Regulators as stewards. AI can help monitor contracts, flag anomalies, audit trails, compliance encoded, checked. A crypto bill of rights, proposed exit, privacy, audit, consent, redress via smart contracts. Regulating karma economies needs care, prevent gamification, regulate quality of contribution. Doing nothing risks chaos or crackdowns. Must govern without borders, regulate with open protocols.
Wow, we've covered so much. From velocity money to a borderless, decentralized world, potentially driven by karma and meeting basic needs. It's a massive shift, aiming to align our economy with purpose, dignity. What does this road ahead look like? What's the ultimate aspiration?
This final part ties it all together. A roadmap from extractive, capital-focused systems to a regenerative, contribution-based civilization, moving from acceleration to alignment, a karma economy. Value from what you do, not own. Rewards for verified contribution. Governance from participation. Tech amplifying dignity. Principles. Sufficiency. Interdependence. Local agency. Transparency. Regeneration.
And the pillars holding it up?
5 key ones. Velocity money. Instant programmable capital. Decentralized identity. Self-sovereign, reputation-based. GDR. Real-time ledger of needs. DAOs and smart contracts. Coordination. Transparent rules. Regenerative finance. ReFi. Rewarding healing. That's the OS.
So the roadmap, stage one.
Stage 1. Karma consciousness. Shifting mindset first. Redefine wealth. Contribution, not consumption. Elevate dignity. Teach economics as ethics. Measure what matters. Food, shelter, education, rest, joy via campaigns, curricula, communities.
Yeah.
Stage 2. Seeding local karma economies. Piloting in micro-communities. Neighborhood care work via time tokens. Rural DAO aligning food production to GDR. Digital city karma coins for culture. Open governance, transparent tracking.
Stage three sounds futuristic. GDR portals and needs dashboards. Real-time dashboards of community needs linked to funding, smart contracts, volunteers, Google Maps for provisioning.
Exactly. And stage 4. DAO-driven public infrastructure. Scaling local systems to schools, clinics, utilities, housing, global fundraising, smart contract execution, local governance via karma tokens, on-chain reports, community-owned infrastructure.
Stage 5, the big policy shift. Replacing GDP with GDR in policy, ministries of requirement, budgets tied to provisioning. Shifting from grow economy to met needs sustainably together.
That's the goal. Stage 6. Interoperable karma networks. Linking GDR DAOs, karma tokens globally, credit trading between domains, karma as lingua franca of global exchange. Climate Steward in Peru uses karma for healthcare in Nairobi.
Stage 7 uses AI. AI govern public goods allocation.
Augmenting human intelligence. AI matching surplus to deficit, detecting fraud, forecasting bottlenecks, optimizing DAO coordination. AI as planner of care, learning from votes, feedback, GDR karma flows.
And the final stage, stage 8, ending the monopoly of capital.
Yes. Money becomes a fluid utility serving needs. Retirement credit scores, banking permissioning, job-based provisioning, inauguration of contribution-based provisioning, local, global interoperability, dignity as default.
Ambitious challenges. Tokenization risks, cultural resistance, privacy, transparency, tension, political pushback, scaling trust.
All real. Solutions. Hybrid models, human plus algo, social graph triangulation, ethical design, gradual transitions, global coalitions of regenerative DAOs. And storytelling is crucial. Capitalism had the invisible hand. Karma economy needs myths of resilience, dignity, tech is healing, centering diverse voices, maybe even a karmist constitution, foundational text and coding rights. Food, shelter, learning, care, duties, contribution, respect, stewardship, DAO governance, trust and open code, protocol law, on-chain, upgradable, enforceable.
Okay.
So what we've explored today, it really is more than just a tech shift. It's a deep dive into a profound philosophical redirection, where the purpose of our economic systems could be recoded around contribution, not coercion or just accumulation.
That's right. The author paints this picture. Velocity money as the bloodstream, GDR as the heart, karma as the soul of a new civilization, moving beyond endless growth to alignment, with each other, with nature, with meaning. This journey from the old world of extraction and scarcity to one of potentially peace and abundance, built with code, care, and karma. It's unfolding right now. The question for the 21st century might not be how rich is your country, but have your people's needs been met? Have you done it sustainably? Have you done it together? It's a powerful thought for you to mull over. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.